that likes to score a lot, and you have a team that gives up a lot of goals.
Absolutely. Rockford's already given up 11 goals so far this season, and I think that Steel City's just going to push them and try to continue to rack up those goals.
What's some of the keys tonight as far as Steel City FC? We had a chance to talk to one of the players with Steel City FC, and I'll get their name. What are some of their keys to winning tonight?
He said that some of the keys are just to push a shutout, to keep pushing that offense against the Rockford defense and score goals, go up early, and just get ahead and let them start chasing.
Nigel Dillard is the one that we talked to. What a great individual. Came up, gave us about 5 to 10 minutes of his time, and very ecstatic. He talked about they want to pitch a shutout, they want to finish strong, and about them getting off to a very quick start tonight is something that Steel City likes to do, and I think they want to control the middle third of the field. So basically that's between the two defensive zones for each team. You know, if they can stranglehold that D and control the middle third tonight, and they pressure Rockford into making a lot of mistakes, and they play physical in that middle third, I think that's going to be another key for them tonight.
I definitely agree, Bill. It looks like we're about to get started here.
Steel City FC in their black uniforms trimmed in red, and Rockford in their black shorts, and it looks like a gray top. Rockford coming in 0-3. As Kylie mentioned, they have given up a lot of goals this season. They've scored 3 goals. They've given up 11 in their 3 losses tonight, so they're looking to get off the snide and get their first victory of the season. The Steel City FC looking to continue their hot ways, already up 2-0. I mean, as far as the record, 2-0, and I think that's going to be important for them to push the issue here to begin and to get these Steel City FC players in the right frame of mind. I know we were down there talking to them, and they seemed very, very loose coming into tonight's contest. Definitely, when you talk to the teams, we talked to Rockford, Kylie, and they were kind of really optimistic. Steel City FC wanted to get things going, and they sounded very, very positive out of the gates.
Absolutely, and it looks like Steel City is already pushing that defense to start pursuing the goal more and getting more shots on goal, so I'm sure that we're going to start to see more and more of that as we go through this.
We got our first foul of the contest. That's going to go against Rockford FC. And Steel City is going to have a free kick to the left of Rockford's goalie, Dennis Louise Aragon. And here's the free kick, curled it back into the box, looking to get a header. Steel City FC talking about pinball action right up front. Steel City FC keeping the pressure on, and Rockford finally gets a slight clear out. But again, the pressure by Steel City keeping Rockford deep in their own zone is, I think, Steel City's going to be, it's going to be something pretty important. That's on the touchline on the near side is both benches. The nearest is Steel City to us. Rockford, the farthest out toward left field here at DuPage Medical Group Field. The goals are over by first base and all the way out in left field. So a beautiful night for soccer. It was a beautiful day. You guys were out at the old Joliet prison doing some prison shoots with the Joliet Slammers, getting ready for their season opener here on the 28th right here at DuPage Medical Group Field.
Yeah, we were, Bill, and it was crazy to just walk in there. As we were walking in, all the players were like, wow, this is crazy. Like, I couldn't imagine, like, staying in here. I don't know how these guys sat in here, but I know they enjoyed it. They thought it was super cool. They were so into it, and they were, like, so interested in, like, looking down, like, the cells, looking down the hallway. So it was, like, a really good experience and a really good time. I really suggest taking a tour there, actually.
You should, and if you're into ghost stories, you were kind of talking about looking down the, we used to call them the bridges at the old prisons in Michigan, and looking down the old ways with those inmates that were there, and talk about the stories. And there's almost a really bad play by Steel City FC in their own defensive zone, and that looked like that went head to head. We may see a yellow card on this one. right at the center line, the midfield marker. And let's see, he's basically going to give him a warning. Trying to see the numbers. They only have the numbers on the back of the jerseys. Can't see anything on the front. I don't think they're going to issue. Trying to see the number.
Bill, I believe it's number 9 who took that hit for Steel City.
Sebastian Bergeri is the one that was talked to by the referees. Rockford again playing some pretty tough tough offense. Devin Brock had to come way out of his goal and make a very, very quick save, and he rushed out and went up against Sebastian Bergeri again.
Really,
that was
it was
number
really
9.
good. Yeah, really good penetration by that goalie to watch the ball and get the ball back for his team to avoid the shot on goal.
Well, Rockford comes out as the aggressor here, Kylie, right away. They've had 2 really good shots.
Oh, crap.
That Deppenbrock in the goal. Deppenbrock, a Aurora University Spartan. Had a chance to broadcast quite a few of their games. Connor Erickson also part of that team. So strong D, a couple breakdowns by Steel City FC, and boy, Rockford almost put 1, if not 2, in the back of the goal. If it wasn't for Deppenbrock coming out after the breakdown on defense, this could be an early lead for Rockford. Rockford ball on the far sideline, kicked out of play. Steel City, we have no score. Just underway here in the first half. Nolan McGrath, really hot on the season to start off for the Steel City FC. 3 goals, 2 assists. Definitely somebody that they're going to look at getting the ball to quite often, I would say.
And Bill, Steel City is just position number 4 in the West Division, behind Milwaukee, which is in first.
I like Bavarian cream donuts are delicious. There's a corner, and that one put into the goal, and there's the first goal of the contest off the corner, and Steel City FC goes up 1-0.
Bill, they talked about scoring early, and here they are up 1 early in the first half.
Well, that was a beautiful corner kick, nice cross into the box. Steel City FC was piled in there like Corwood, and they had that one completely played out. They knew exactly what they wanted to do, and they were able to get the header to score 1-0.
Here comes Steel City back on the offense. Looks like he just kicked it out.
And that's going to go Rockford's way on the throw-in. A touch all the way in the near corner on the far side down in the Rockford zone.
Rockford's really been pushing that defense on Steel City this tonight. It looked like
foul on Steel City. I completely agree with you. It looked like Rockford being the early aggressor to start off, and all it took was a corner, and Steel City FC found the back of the net. It looked like it went off the crossbar and then in, but either way, that is a goal by Steel City FC. As we mentioned, they come in 2-0, scoring 8 goals, only giving up 4 on the season so far. And that's going to be a handball. I believe that was McGrath on the handball. little bit difficult seeing through that netting here for baseball. Trying to catch these numbers, I'm sure it'll be a little bit easier once the lights take full effect. There's Rockford, a shot out all the way up near the penalty arc, and Deppenbrock able to come up with a big save.
Yeah, Bill, you're usually used to calling these games for baseball up here, and it is definitely hard to see the numbers, I'm sure, during the baseball season. It's a little easier to see the bigger numbers on the front and the back.
Flores right up the seam, right up the middle. Get that one up to McGrath again. McGrath tried to center one in right near the penalty mark and not able to do so, and Rockford comes out with it. Yeah, the lights make a big difference. We're in the twilight right now, Kylie, and it's a little bit more difficult. Here comes Steel City FC down the far side of the field, right inside the box, and that one's going to go out on the end line, and I believe, let's see what the call is. They have yet to make a call. This might be another corner, and it is. The last time Steel City, from that exact spot, they were able to put one in the back of the net. One to nothing's your score. We're here in the first half at the Cell, as they call it, part of the Midwest Premier League. That one's going to hit over toward the Burger Barn, and it keeps rolling, and nobody home. But again, another good corner, and Steel City FC able to get ahead on it, but that one went up and over the crossbar and out of play.
A lot of baseballs went that way last season, Bill.
Oh, they sure did. There was, we brought in a very neat aspect, I think, of baseball. Instead of going the extra innings, I know that the major leagues are putting a player on at second base. But we went to home run derbies, and that was kind of a neat deal to see. And we had a couple that went off the Burger Barn. We actually had one in an actual baseball game that went on top of the Burger Barn and bounced, I believe, completely out of the stadium. It was one heck of a shot. That was the City of Champions tournament we had, 4 teams. It was what the Nerds Herd, Joliet Slammers,
Chicago Deep Dish,
and there's
Tully
another
Monsters.
shot, the Tully Monsters. All right, and Steel City FC goes off the feet. One of the players from Steel City FC that goes off the end line, and here comes Rockford. They're down 1-0. That was a neat aspect during this COVID pandemic. Good open field tackle by Steel City, but here comes Rockford again pressuring. Big crossover here to the near corner. Dillard. Strong D. There's another shot. Deppenbrock has to come out and make a big save. That was a big save on Alonzo Banda, who was crashing right up the middle.
And it looks like Steel City's goalkeeper was a little frustrated there trying to get his guys in position.
Yeah, he's communicating, and I don't know if they're having a hard time hearing tonight, but he's definitely communicating, and you're right, the frustration, even though they're up 1-0, he wants to get his players positioned right, so Rockford can't get those penetrating passes right up the seam. I mean, they've had 3 decent chances, and Deppenbrock had to come up with some big saves. Dillard back on defense. Connor Erickson. Foul on Rockford. Dillard with the big boots. And that's going to go all the way back to Dennis Luis Aragon, their goalkeeper, number 23. Good crowd here tonight at the Cell. Erickson doing the smart thing. He's just going to kick that one out of play, slow down the momentum set forth by Rockford. This will be a throw-in on the near sideline. Kokosi with the throw-in. He's going to do it again. Move about 5 feet down the field. Seymour. Oh, again, Deppenbrock has to go back out again. Another Rockford FC player crashed in the nets. Went right between two Steel City FC defenders. And Kylie, that could mean trouble if they're not going to pay attention to those guys. They're going to continue to crash, and the more chances, it could be Rockford tying this match up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, it looks like Rockford came behind Steel City's back. An open pass. And if they would have got that, it would have been a one-on-one.
1-0 is your score. Still trying to get the official score of that corner. So many people kind of lobbed in right in the very middle. Steel City, again, here comes Rockford. They almost have a breakaway. Is he going to be offsides? No call. Rockford again at the top of the penalty arc. That guy's got some mad skills. That's his Manriquez. Another cross in the top of the box. And Rockford again. Deppenbrock's going to have to come out and make another save.
Yes, sir. Try to not be so jerky. Okay. More subtle movement.
Two goalies, really one in orange, one in green. You can definitely tell. It's kind of like volleyball where you have your libero with a different colored jersey, and you definitely know who your goalkeepers are. They got the big gloves. And tonight, Deppenbrock has been pretty busy. Oh, there's a dangerous cross back into the box. And we are going to have a whistle. I believe. No, that's going to go against Steel City. I don't know how that was. They may say that he was offsides. Those little bang-bang plays, you'll see, you'll be like, well, he's got a big breakaway. Well, he might have a breakaway, but he's got to stay on side, and that's what these side judges are standing there with the flags. Got to make sure that they stay on side to where they don't get any type of advantage. Let's see, that's going to be close to being onside and not, or offside, excuse me. Sebastian Brigari. Nigel Dillard just kicks that one out past the midfield stripe, and they're going to kick this one all the way back to Luis Aragon to kind of reset their offense. Kylie, it seems like Rockford's come out with a lot of energy. They realize that they're 0-3, and this could be a very big game and a big swing for them in the season if they can get their first victory tonight.
Absolutely, Bill. I think they're looking for their first win. They didn't really have much to say when we went try to go down and talk to them. I think that they were trying to focus and just focus on the game instead of worrying about, well, just like fun facts that we want to talk about. But so far, they've put on a really good show that I think that is going to benefit them in the future.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight on the Steel City FC YouTube channel. With Deppenbrock having to come way out of the box, and we are going to have a foul, and I think this is going to go against Steel City. If so, nope, it's not. I find that hard to believe because it looked like there was a lot of contact, and we have a Rockford player down. Looks like number 12, Evaristi Kikozi, and he's up, back on his feet. And one of the things that I remember from living up in Michigan, talking to a neurologist that was talking about concussions, because that was kind of a big deal, and still is a big deal. Rockford will just kick that one back out by Luis Aragon. They say that soccer is, here comes Steel City FC, and he's going to be taken down. That's going to be a foul. Oh, that might be a yellow card, because I believe the Rockford player just kicked that one and launched that one over toward the wiffle ball field. We may have a yellow card on this one. If so, it's going to be a free kick for Steel City FC. Like I was saying, they say that soccer is the main sport with concussions in this country. And, you know, I was like, wait a second, you got hockey, you got football, but they're saying more concussions come from the game of soccer than any other sport, you know, due to the fact that you can't use your hands. You got to use your feet, you got to use your head, you got to use your chest. You know, Interesting. Here's the free kick. Jacob Lysick. Looks like he's going to take it for Steel City. A couple players come up. Lysick cross into the box. That's going to hit a Rockford FC player, and Rockford's going to clear it out. Nice little chip shot back toward the middle.
And Bill, as you were saying about concussions, I believe it. Soccer is one of the only sports that doesn't really have any equipment, and they don't have a helmet, they don't have shoulder pads, knee pads, thigh pads to protect them from those hits. So when they get hit, it's all body. It's almost like rugby, except obviously they can use their hands.
Right.
But soccer, you guys, two people could go up for a header and smack heads, and there's almost a concussion for you, a busted eye, a busted lip. So I definitely can see where all those concussions come from in soccer.
Well, it looked like a quick break out there for Steel City, but we have a Rockford player down, and this is going to go against Steel City FC. And you're right. The only protection they really have are those shin pads inside their socks, and that's it. And I'm not good at soccer whatsoever. I will never claim to be good at soccer. I was the kid in gym class that wanted to see how far I could kick it. I could care less, so I just wanted to just boot it to the moon, and these guys, after broadcasting games and watching the talent that it takes, because you want to use your hands. I mean, that's one of the things that, you're born with hands. You want to use your hands. You can't. It's frowned upon in this game. And they really, the hand-eye coordination, dare I say the hand-eye, it's the eye and the feet. I mean, it's pretty impressive. Deppenbrock's going to have to come all the way out again. Two more Rockford players right in between the 18 and the 12-yard marker. And, I find it impressive that you could basically take away your hands in this game and be as good as you are with your feet. It's very impressive. I was never good at hacky sack neither, and these guys, they can do that stuff in their sleep. So
for sure, and the goalies, they are also it's a physically demanding job.
It sure is.
Watching every aspect of the field, diving on turf, on grass. I know the turf burn does not feel good at all. So there's
strawberries, they used to call them, raspberries. You get the burns on it. I don't know what it would be from a turf point of view, but I would think that it would sting because you got those little rubber pellets that I'm sure that get integrated inside to your legs and all that stuff. You just got to burn. And you broadcast for Western Illinois, and I'm sure that they have. Is it turf that they deal with down there?
Yeah, we have a turf field down there. Yeah.
I tell you, the integration of turf. Here comes Rockford again. Oh, nice pass just outside the 12. Rockford again. Deppenbrock with a big save. Got a hand on it, and that's going to go out, and that's going to be a corner for Rockford. But Deppenbrock again, and look at, you talked about the frustration. It's exactly what he's talking about right now. He's positioning his players for this corner because he wants to get a good view. Again, this is a little bit like hockey. You want to set up your players. Rockford wants to put bodies in front of the goalie, wants to cause the congestion to where they can't see the ball. In hockey, it's you want to put a big body in front of the goalie. You want to obstruct the view, and I think that's exactly what Rockford's going to try to do right now. They've got one person literally on the goal line right behind Deppenbrock. Another player just doing circles, and here's the corner. Nice curl back into the box. And that's going to go a little bit too far, but a nice kick. I can tell you right now, their main contact guy is going to be Sebastian Bergeri right there. He was able to hit that one. No question. Just lifted up his foot and bang, right over the crossbar. So, again, we've seen the firepower. It's hard to believe that this team is literally 0-3 with what we've seen in the first 15 to 20 minutes of this contest.
Yeah, Bill, they've really shown a lot of effort, talent. They could tie this game easy with all the pressure they're bringing to the goal. And if they score, it'll definitely be a more interesting game.
I would like to see, even up this game and see how Rockford, they've been playing from behind this season. Steel City, again, another big move. Luis Aragon and Steel City coming right up to see him again. And it's going to be another corner. This time it's going to be to the right of Dennis Luis Aragon. Last two coming from his left side. Nolan McGrath sitting just outside the box. The main job is to keep this one high enough and curl it back into the box. Nice line drive. That one's going to go to the far post. And that's going to go outside the end line, and it's going to be a goalie kick. So far, the pace right now, Kylie seems, Rockford seems to kind of be settling in and getting their chances. Steel City still looks like that there's some questions defensively, even though they're up 1-0. They've had quite a few breakdowns, 3 to 4 breakdowns on defense that could have been very costly if it wasn't for Deppenbrock standing on his head in the goal.
Absolutely. I think Steel City just needs to calm down and stop trying to force everything to that other side of the field. They just need to not think about trying to go up big and continue to get up big. And here we go, shot on goal, and it's in.
And
goal!
there it is. Well, Kylie, you called it. And again, another breakdown defensively. And here we are, knotted up one apiece. Good call there, Kylie. As it came down Deppenbrock not happy whatsoever. He went to his left, and the ball went down to the far post low side, and you called it. They really came down with some aggression, and they caught Steel City FC sleeping on defense. So there it is, your first goal call, and how did that go?
I think it went pretty well.
I think it was pretty sweet. All right, taking a look at this roster, we're trying to associate the first names and the last names. The teams, again, in their inaugural season, it's kind of it's been tough to get things going as far as the websites and everything. But if you head over to steelcityfc.com, you can get their information. You wanted to give a big shout out to a fellow Western Illinois alum, as I guess I could say.
Absolutely.
And who is that? Shannon Seymour?
Shannon Seymour. I feel like I've heard that name just walking around school, or maybe like in Western Hall, which is kind of where like the sports are, or just in like everyday like Western Online stuff, like the website. I feel like I've heard that name, but shout out to him.
You probably have. I mean, these guys, this is a game that takes some serious cardio. The fact that it's just nonstop. There's really no break. This is a 90-minute game minus, injuries and stoppage time and all that stuff. But Shannon Seymour, midfielder. Brandon Mellon, another midfielder for this team. Ramon Garcia plays both forward and mid. Luis Lopez, another strong midfielder for Steel City. Kyle Seymour, midfielder. Danny Flores, another guy you got to be real careful if you're going up offensively. Nigel Dillard, we talked to him. What a great guy. Connor Erickson, AU Spartan, back on defense. Jason Iniguez, another takedown right in the middle third. And right now, Steel City FC committing a lot of fouls early to stop the forward momentum by Rockford. And, it does stop the play, but also it gives Rockford the chance to set up offensively as they knotted this game up one apiece. There's another long drive. That one's going to go into the Joliet Slammers dugout and play a little pinball.
Yeah, Bill, I mean, calling the WIU games, one thing that we emphasized was watching them was mental miscues, and Steel City has been making
this cord is terrible.
Almost a lot of those mental miscues, and it's obviously harmed them as the game's now tied 1-1, even though they wanted to just go up big. Now they're trailing almost, in my opinion, just because they're almost getting outplayed by Rockford rushing the net and getting set up. And again, mental miscues are really key to almost any sport that you play.
Agreed.
Looks like we have an injured Steel City player.
Looked like he went in like a shoulder. Still down. right here. Looks like he is up. Oh, that's their big man too. I believe that's McGrath that went down. Oh, McGrath now with the ball.
This cord, I can't stand this cord. It's bugging the shit out of me.
McGrath with a nice, strong cross. And Luis Aragon had to come out and play that ball deep quadrants of the goalie box. And Kylie, right now, it looks like Steel City FC trying to stretch this offense with a long pass and trying to catch Rockford off guard this time.
It doesn't look like Rockford's folding as they want him to, so we'll have to see how it all plays out and see how it goes.
And I think that goal right there is a huge momentum booster for Rockford. I mean, they were playing strong up to that point, even though they gave up an early goal. They knotted it up, and they're playing like the team that's 2-0 right now.
Yeah, you would never know that they're 0-2 or 0-3, excuse me, but they just keep penetrating the ball, and that's the key to soccer. You have to keep penetrating the ball.
Strong defensive play. Middle third, McGrath trying to get it. That ball booted over into the lawn section along the third base side. Another whistle. They're trying to say, we got a yellow card. That went against Rockford. They're not happy whatsoever. I think I heard down on the field talking about he was sliding. I think that was a really aggressive tackle is what they're giving that yellow card to. 2 yellow cards, and that player will be out of this contest. Red card, automatic dismissal. Here's McGrath again. Oh, low line drive. That did not come off the foot that he wanted, the way he wanted to. Steel City will get it. Now McGrath. Crossfield pass. Rockford again, not crumbling as far as defense goes. No call on that. And here comes Steel City FC right up the seam. A beautiful night for soccer. Wind coming out of the south. I believe that's south. Close enough.
I wish I could tell you, Bill. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I would think that's I-80 south. So it's out of the south. Partly cloudy night came in. It was like 74. It's supposed to be a really hot stretch. And again, Rockford will just kick it out and force a throw in for Steel City on near the far corner. Yeah, we've got a stretch here where it's going to be really beautiful weather. It's going to be warm, and unfortunately we're in a little bit of a drought, so we do need some rain.
We got a little rain today, but definitely not as much as we're gonna need. But it's good to see the sun back out.
It is. It's gonna be warm, and it's gonna be. People want to get outside.
Good,
this pandemic
to
coming down to a close.
I'm working on that. There we go.
We hope it's coming to a close at least. We'd like to hope so.
Remember back in the news they were talking about
with hockey, I'm used to
nice cross back into the box.
Which way the puck's going to go by the way the body is.
Rockford able to head that one back out. And I believe that's going to be another corner
really good
on the opposite side of the field for Steel City. Yeah, they were talking about
doing real good, man.
This.
Okay, cool.
I forgot what they called it.
I'm just trying to get the rhythm of the body,
coronavirus. Back in the days. And they were like, if it comes here, this is what's going to happen, and it showed up. And,
oh man,
very, very serious. A lot of people lost their lives. A lot of people sick.
Okay.
A lot of people around the world not being able to see their loved ones for long periods of time, and the Zoom meetings came into play, and FaceTime and all those other things, and there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's good to see fans coming back out. That one goes through the box, and Aragon able to get a hand on it. That one's going to hit the touchline. It'll be a throw-in now for Steel City.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, with COVID or Corona, however you would like to call it, even being at school, like, it was just good to be back in a classroom. I mean, last semester we were all on Zoom. We didn't have almost any interaction.
Late call right there, Kylie. Oh, we got another yellow card. Second one of the contest. And I believe this one is this Rockford again? Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a second yellow card on Rockford as a team.
Again, like I mentioned earlier, those mental miscues are a key thing in every single game, athletic game. No matter what game you play, they're key in getting a win. And again, like I mentioned at Western, I was like, those mental miscues are keys to win. They're keys that could make you lose if you have too many. They can affect your defense. They can affect the momentum, and it's just a huge part of the game.
Well, Steel City FC is going to have free kick. It's going to be halfway between the center line and the goal line. Here's McGrath. He's going to curl it, go back up toward the top of the box. Aragon comes out, gives up a big rebound up toward the midfield marker. Here's Connor Erickson, who's just going to jump it back into the offensive zone for Steel City, but that's going to be a goalie kick. Yeah, I mean, you talked about how school was different. Everything changed during this time, and you didn't even have to go get your own groceries. I mean, it still is, a very weird time that you're always going to remember. This stretch of what everybody had to go through. Here comes Rockford again, already not in this game, up one apiece. That's Bergeri again. Talk about the mad skills. Look at that. Bergeri goes down. No call. Curl back into the box. Devin Brock. No harm, no foul. Rockford again is going to continue to keep the pace. And we've got a Rockford player down and another stoppage. Let's see if this is going to be another yellow card. I believe they're going to talk to him.
Really good sportsmanship by Steel City, making sure he's okay, not continuing his play and just standing by him, making sure that he was okay.
Yeah, Ribbons came over, and that's what you want to see right there. I mean, you play hard in this game, and you're going to commit fouls and stuff like that, but you definitely want to let them know, hey, no harm, no foul, apologize, whether they agree with it or not. It looks like a little bit of a disagreement right there between those two players, but Ribbons came over to check on them, and they're still having conversation. But again, it's a very physical game. As we were talking to Nigel Dillard, he basically said they want to be physical. They want to come out here and control this game physically. And you were talking about this game being mental. It's physical, but I think it's more mental. If you can get into these players' heads, they really break down quickly, and it takes a lot to reel them back in sometimes.
Absolutely. I almost think that's with any athlete. Once you get into an athlete's head, they're always thinking about what you said, what you're going to do next, and sports are a very mental game. Soccer is a very mental game. Once you get in the opposing team's head or opposing team's player, it's definitely hard for a team to bring that player back or bring their team back.
Now we got a Steel City player down. Yeah, and in sports too, if you let that get to you and it gets into your head, you can find yourself on the bench. You can be relegated down to a bench to maybe not even an active player. Like in hockey, you can become a healthy scratch, and in baseball, if you're a leadoff guy, you can find yourself batting seventh. I mean, sports is feast or famine. And you could be the best player one day. I'm not saying that like Lionel Messi is ever going to be benched, but I mean, he has his bad days. And these players, they know that there's someone waiting on the bench. We can see them. They all have the orange jerseys on as the reserves are ready to come in at a moment's notice, and they're one bad play from possibly finding themselves on the bench.
Absolutely, Bill. I totally agree with you on that.
Erickson now will kick it back to his teammate from Aurora University, the Spartans, part of the NAC Conference, Northern Athletic Collegiate Conference. So they know each other really well. Rockford again, knotting this game up 1-1. Deppenbrock's got to be careful. Here's Rockford again. No, Deppenbrock with a big save, another header. Deppenbrock with 2 big ones, and he's going to roll that one out quickly. And here comes Steel City on the breakout, and we got a player down actually in the goalie box by Rockford. And that looked like a very smart play, but now they're calling for the training staff to come out immediately.
It looks like he tried to head that ball there, and the ball must have just came too hard and hit his head. We talked about those concussions again. Yes. Prime example right here.
Absolutely. But 2 shots up close, and Deppenbrock having to play the game of his life the last 5 seconds or so, actually stopping those 2 shots. And that's the same player that had the shot and then returned the header. And he's down in the goalie box as they attend to him. Again, this 1-1 is your score. Steel City FC, first 5 minutes, put one behind Dennis Luis Aragon. And then Rockford with an onslaught of chances on Deppenbrock, and Deppenbrock coming up with some big saves, but that one went far post, low side, and we are knotted up 1 apiece. We're going to step aside here real quick. You're watching Midwest League soccer action live from DuPage Medical Group Field. It's 1-1, Steel City and Rockford all knotted up.
Maintaining your health is more important now than ever. That's why DuPage Medical Group continues to provide the great care you've come to expect, while adapting to these challenging times through additional safety measures and patient pre-screening. After all, you should always feel confident in keeping your close connection with the physicians who know you so well. Learn more today at scheduledmg.com. DuPage Medical Group. We care for you.
On, hits one deep down the right field line. And that baby's gone!
Action. Back to action here at DuPage Medical Group Field. Bill Downing with my sidekick, my partner in crime, Kylie Rogers. Haven't seen you since the City of Champions tournament that we had last summer here at DuPage Medical Group Field, and I know that you graduated from, I can't say the name.
Waubonsie Community
College. Community College, and then you are off to Western Illinois, which is that Macomb?
Yes, sir, Macomb, Illinois.
Got lucky there. I was that, or I think Manhattan is Eastern, if I remember right. What's your big rival down there?
Probably ISU, Illinois State University, just about two hours away in Bloomington Normal. I know they played them in football. Unfortunately, they lost a close game, but
Deppenbrock again with another big save. He's going to try to chase that down and gets to it at the corner of the goalie box. Boy, that one almost slipped underneath, and Rockford about, I would say, the length of 2 soccer balls from taking a 2-1 lead. Sorry, go ahead.
But absolutely, I would say ISU is our biggest rivalry down there, as, like I said, they're about 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours east of us where we are in Macomb, so they're definitely a big rival.
Dare I say that I like the Redbirds because my mom lives down there? I mean,
yes.
That's part of the what is? You're part of the? Is that the Missouri Valley?
Yeah. There's a few of our sports teams are part of the Summit League in Missouri Valley.
Right,
so
right.
It really depends on what team we're talking about. I know football is a part of the the Missouri Valley Conference. There, where
you got is it Eastern, Western?
We have Northern Illinois, Western Illinois, Eastern Illinois, Illinois itself.
Good grief.
Yeah, but
Illinois Wesleyan. I mean, Bloomington has like 4 different colleges. They got Heartland, ISU, Wesleyan. I mean, the state of Illinois is just packed with some talented athletes. Speaking of athletes, here comes Steel City FC. Wide open. Curl back in the box. And, that one hits the post. Aragon out of position. And Steel City almost returned into favor, putting another one behind.
Very lucky break for Rockford there. Super lucky break.
I'd like to give a shout out to our producer, Sean King, 1080 Productions. Squints is also over there. Bill Jr. You want to know who Squints is? Just look him up. He's an Atlanta Braves fan, and he's from the South. Nothing wrong with that. And I know he likes the Georgia Bulldogs.
He does indeed.
Oh, he does.
He loves his Atlanta Braves too.
Part of the the National League East, and the Georgia Bulldogs are part of the SEC. Going up against my South Carolina Gamecocks, who I absolutely love, the University of South Carolina.
Bill, we're a little bit of rivals here. I'm a big Clemson fan now.
But you got to give a shout out. In South Carolina, Clemson, South Carolina is just like Alabama, Auburn. It's a big rivalry, and I tell you, Clemson has really controlled that rivalry for the last 12 years. And Trevor Lawrence going the number one pick. Oh, we got some pushing and shoving. Now let's see. I believe he's the ref. There it is. Another yellow card emerges from the massive humanity amongst all you see is this yellow card come out of nowhere, and I believe he's going to give a yellow card probably to both of the players. No, that's McGrath. That's their big scorer right there. 3 goals and 2 assists on the season, and he has something to say. And it's probably best just to walk away, because you don't want to get that second yellow and put your highest scoring player on the bench.
Absolutely, Bill. But like we were saying, big Clemson fan. Trevor Lawrence going number 1.
Okay, enough. Stop. Enough of this. But no, Dabu Sweeney, he may rub people the wrong way, but he really has his finger on that program. He really gets these players. And when you're in the national championship game in the top 4 consistently, you're going to get some of the best players. You see the Alabamas, you see the Clemsons. Those guys get the best players year in and year out. And you may get sick and tired of seeing them in the national championship scene, but you know what? I give them a lot of credit. There's a lot of football out there, and for them to be that good year in and year out, you got to give them a lot of credit.
Absolutely, Bill.
But not that much to Clemson, though.
Yeah, Dabo Swinney definitely has something special in his football program, and as long as he's there, that football program is going to continue to be better. I know they have, I'm going to butcher his name, but DJ Ugalele he's like 6'3", 220 pounds, and he's a quarterback, and I know they mentioned that he's going to start this year. He's going to be a tank to take down. Comparing him to Trevor Lawrence is a tall.
And what was his name again?
DJ, his name is very hard to pronounce.
I knew you wouldn't say it again.
Yeah, but
here's Rockford again, curls it back in the box, wide open in the middle. Again, strong defense. Dillard comes out of nowhere to save that one, and I'm telling you, Deppenbrock right now is shaking his head. Too many wide open chances for Rockford. Yeah, I just think that it's gonna be another special season. Fans back in. Here's another curl back in the box. Deppenbrock come out, easily gets that one. He's gonna toss this one out quickly, trying to get the offense back in tune. I think his main concern right now is the defense. The breakdowns, as you mentioned. Steel City right now giving up way too many chances to Rockford here early on. Oh, that one was offside. A great stretch pass.
We've seen a lot of yellow cards here in the past few minutes. We've got to be coming up here to halftime here.
I would think so.
Pretty soon.
45 and 45. My math is bad, but that's 90 minutes, and we got to be close to 45 here in the first half, and we're all knotted up one apiece. And I tell you, if you're Rockford, that right there, you talk about Uncle Mo being something strong in sports, and there it is. As you mentioned it, we are at halftime. Momentum, we call it Uncle Mo in sports. If you have it, that's a mighty thing. You can be 0-15, but if you have momentum, you look like a team that can't be beat.
Absolutely, Bill. Momentum is very key in sports, and we'll have to see who comes out with it in the second half, because right now I feel like Steel City's kind of all over the place, as is Rockford.
Yep, we're going to step aside. It's 1-1 at halftime. Steel City and Rockford knotted up here at DuPage Medical Group Field. It's Midwest Soccer League action. I'm Bill Downing. She is Kylie Rogers. We're at halftime, 1-1.
Maintaining your health is more important now than ever. That's why DuPage Medical Group continues to provide the great care you've come to expect while adapting to these challenging times through additional safety measures and patient pre-screening. After all, you should always feel confident in keeping your close connection with the physicians who know you so well. Learn more today at scheduledmg.com. DuPage Medical Group. We care for you.
On hits one deep down the right field line. And that baby's gone! Pereira hits one deep down the right field line. Is it enough? Carlton, Fisk, move over! Ryan Pereira hooks it around the pole, and the Slammers beat the Tully Monsters.
Maintaining your health is more important now than ever. That's why DuPage Medical Group continues to provide the great care you've come to expect while adapting to these challenging times through additional safety measures and patient pre-screening. After all, you should always feel confident in keeping your close connection with the physicians who know you so well. Learn more today at scheduledmg.com. DuPage Medical Group. We care for you.
On hits one deep down the right field line. And that baby's gone! Pereira hits one deep down the right field line. Is it enough? Carlton, Fisk, move over! Ryan Pereira hooks it around the pole, and the Slammers beat the Tully Monsters.
Rogers, it's 1-1. Steel City FC getting out early in the first 5. made it 1-0. And then Rockford came back, and again, Rockford's had multiple, and when I say multiple, we're talking 6 to 7 really legitimate chances through the defense of Steel City FC. And you talk about getting out there trying to stretch the defense. Rockford, if you listen to the pregame, Nigel Dillard was telling us exactly what they wanted to do. They were talking about getting out early, doing this, doing that. And boy, it seems like Rockford stole their playbook, because they did exactly what Dillard was basically trying to tell us what Steel City wanted to do right out of the gate.
Yeah, Bill, I think Rockford really came out and penetrated Steel City's offense and almost shocked them. I don't think they expected them to come out that fast, play that hard. Again, being an undefeated team, maybe that got to their head, the mental game again. But Rockford is really showing that they could potentially be a good team and not an 0-3 team as they started this season.
You know, Nigel Dillard was talking about the keys to the game, and the shutout, that's out of the play. Finish strong. Rockford's been doing that since the start. Control, go up early. Steel City did it, but Rockford rebounded right away. Being physical, both these teams, we've seen 3 yellow cards already. Pressure Rockford into making mistakes. Well, Rockford has been pressuring Steel City into making mistakes. And Deppenbrock, I tell you, if it wasn't for the fact that he's standing on his head right now, I think Rockford legitimately could have 3 to 4 goals right now.
Yeah, he's definitely put his team on his back and showed up for his team tonight, and they should be very thankful that he's in the goal tonight.
Well, you talked about the standings, Milwaukee, Bavarian, as I mentioned. Every time you say Bavarian, I'm thinking donuts. You know, I absolutely love those things. They come in 3-1-0 with 1 draw. Adria 3-0. These teams, these top-tier teams, you know, scoring a lot of goals. Like Milwaukee Bavarians, 16, only gave up 5. You know, their goal differential is +11. They lead the Western Division with 10 points. But take a look at some of the upcoming games here for Steel City FC. And Kylie, the Midwest Soccer League and Steel City FC, this is their inaugural season. And what a start this team has. You take a look at the fans sitting along the third base side. They get a great view of this field. We get an awesome view up here. But some of the action coming up on the Midwest League. And what's the next contest for Steel City? And it looks like it's going to be the number 2 team, Adria, and that's coming up on May 26th right here at DuPage Medical Group Field. We're going to step aside real quick before we start the second half. Bill Downing, Kylie Rogers, 1-1 at halftime.
Maintaining your health is more important now than ever. That's why DuPage Medical Group continues to provide the great care you've come to expect, while adapting to these challenging times through additional safety measures and patient pre-screening. After all, you should always feel confident in keeping your close connection with the physicians who know you so well. Learn more today at scheduledmg.com. DuPage Medical Group. We care for you.
On, hits one deep down the right field line. And that baby's gone! Pereira hits one deep down the right field line. Is it enough? Carlton Fisk, move over! Ryan Pereira hooks it around the pole, and the Slammers beat the Tully Monsters.
All right, second half getting ready to begin here. They switch sides. Rockford FC will be closest to us. Steel City FC on the farthest side of the field. They'll be protecting the left field goal.
Got some kids over here playing.
Well, you got to love the passion of soccer. The Chicago Fire getting back to it. They moved from Bridgeview back to Soldier Field for the second time, and Jumbo Joe at the helm of the production team over at Soldier Field. Do not say soldiers. It's soldier. I've heard people say Jules. You know, like Jules Osco. It's like, the S is silent. And then you hear people, why would you put the S in there? I have no idea.
It's almost like Illinois.
Here we come,
Don't
baby.
say it.
Illinois.
So, there it is.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
Right.
technically speaking.
You could always know you're talking to someone from Illinois or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, you're going to head over to Jules there on South Illinois Avenue? It's like, yep, gotcha.
Yeah, you mentioned there's a lot of passion in this sport.
Sure is. I tell you, from kids, I mean, on a Saturday morning, you drive around anywhere, you see an open field, there's kids playing soccer everywhere.
Yeah, even my littlest brother was like, Mom, I want to play soccer. I want to play soccer. So I think he's starting to grow a passion more for sports. He also loves football.
Steel City quickly coming back in. Sorry, Kylie.
It's all good.
Oh, takedown in the box. There's another one. That's going to be, what are they going to call this? I believe this is going to be, that was McGrath. And it's going to be a corner right here in front of us. I know you got a very, very beautiful family, a proud family that you always talk about. You bring them to the ballpark. And give a shout out. I'm sure that they're watching.
I don't know about that. What time is it?
Is it bedtime for the brother?
They might be in bed. They might be in bed. They have school in the morning, and my one littlest brother is a monster to wake up. He never wants to wake up in the morning, but I'm very thankful for them and all their support. So shout out to my two brothers, Tatum and Colton, my mom, and my dad, who's probably driving right now, working at FedEx Freight.
Oh, there's a big mistake. Deppenbrock came all the way out. The ball jumped over him on the turf. And Steel City dodging a major bullet right there. If there was a Rockford FC player right there, that was an empty net goal. Boy, again, I don't know what they said to him at halftime, but Steel City FC, the defense right now, lagging a little bit. And again, a couple good chances already for Rockford on a miscue by the goalie, and there's a couple bodies going up. And what was the group drowning pool? Let the bodies hit the floor. That's exactly what just happened right there.
Absolutely,
bodies
Bill.
Everywhere. But yeah, you know, you got to have that strong support at home, and I know that you brought your family and your brother. And how many brothers do you have? 2?
I got 2 younger brothers. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yep, I know that. My kids living up in Michigan, one north of Grand Rapids, one over in Ludington, and my 2 granddaughters. And I tell you, family is important, and you can definitely tell in the game of soccer, you know, they call it football overseas. Here's Steel City on a breakout, where they caught Rockford sleeping. There's McGrath again, leading scorer with 3 goals and 2 assists. He's going to be double-team pinned in the corner. McGrath still with it.
Really quick feet for McGrath there. He's really quick on his feet and can move the ball, and he almost got away with that one right there.
McGrath and Lysick playing a little game of keep away there in the Rockford defensive zone. Yeah, I mean, you talk about starting them young. That's exactly what they're doing with the game of soccer, football, as they call it overseas. I mean, it's not football, but that's what they call it. And I tell you, you talk about passionate. You look at overseas, you know, you got the Premier League, and like here, the Midwest Premier League, as I did not call it correctly the first time, as I vapor locked completely on that one. But overseas, I mean, there's cities that, you know, you don't wear the other team's colors into that city, you know, because passion just runs deep. And, you know, MLS here in this country off to a great start, and the little leagues for these kids playing soccer, and the families and the amount of time that they sacrifice for these kids, and it's good. They're outside, they're athletic, getting some cardio in, and making friends, and really learning. I think sports brings values to people. It teaches responsibility. About. And just being a good player all around and a good person.
I can agree, Bill. I learned a lot of things growing up about myself personally and just mentally about responsibility, teamwork, hard work, and growing up as a player. And I think that sports really teach you that because it gives you something to work towards. You're not just sitting at home scrolling through your phone like I know many kids are in the younger generations now. Sports gets you outside, brings people together, gets you more friends. And you talked about family. Sports bring families together, which extends your family not by blood, but just that bond that you share.
Right.
And
Win or lose.
Absolutely. And growing up, I know I used to call my teammates my brothers or my family because I obviously used to play.
And you coach too.
I coach football, yeah. So the younger kids that I coach, I think of those kids as my little brothers, and I've said I would do absolutely anything in the world for them. And the dads that I coach with, I call them my dads, and that's just how sports work. They bring people together, and they extend your family, whether it's by blood or not by blood.
Lasting relationships, win or lose. You definitely want to win, but I was always taught by coaches, growing up that in order to be a good winner, you have to be a good loser first. You have to understand what it's like. You can't always be on top. So, but being a good loser, I think, is important. You learn from winning, you learn from losing, but I think that a team like Rockford, as you see, they come in 0-3, but again, this team looks like a team that's 3-0. I mean, they're learning from their mistakes as this game is going on, and this team is getting better, and their record's not indicative of how good this team really could be.
I know I've told my brothers once they've lost a wrestling match, I'm like, you didn't lose, you learned, because you learned at what you did wrong, and now you can improve on that, and you're just going to continue to learn. We obviously, it shows it on the records, but in reality, you don't ever lose. You just learn.
Speaking of wrestling, it's not WWE type stuff like the voice of the Slammers. Lonnie Wilkins is a big brother fan of Hulk Hogan,
Yes, he is.
So he's not putting you in any one of those, giving you the Hulk Hogan leg drop or anything like that.
Well, my brothers might do that to me.
Yeah, I did. Me and my kids, we always thought that, we used the pillows. We thought those were chair shots and, and body slams onto the beds. And, we really tested what furniture is capable of doing. And,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's fun. And you're right. It doesn't matter what sport you play. You just go out there and you do your best, win
Have
or lose.
fun.
Yeah.
Having fun is one of the biggest things. And that I try to tell the younger kids, like, don't try to overdo yourself. Just go out there, have fun, enjoy the sport, because as you get into higher levels, that's when you got to start to get more serious.
Right.
Obviously, as you're young, you want to be serious, but you also want to have fun with it. You don't want to overwork your body. You want to hold yourself to a high standard, but just learn.
And I think that's what Rockford's doing here. They're playing within the game. They're playing their game. They had a game plan coming into this contest, and it was to force Steel City into mistakes, and we've seen that so far. We're knotted up one apiece. Both goals coming in the first half. First one by Steel City, second one by Rockford, and it's really been Rockford FC putting the pressure on Steel City here tonight. You take a look at the last contest, I believe, for Steel City was back on the 16th against Dubuque, and I believe they beat them 3-1. This team is built with speed and physicality, and you got players such as McGrath and Lysick out there doing what they do. I mean, this team, the stars and the sky's the limits with this team, but Rockford also knows it's a long season. They may start it off at 0-3 and got behind the 8 ball a little bit, but they know that a win of any sort, doesn't matter who you're playing, is a big momentum booster. And here's Steel City with a corner. They scored their only goal on a corner. Oh, there's another one, and there it is, a second corner. And Steel City FC goes up 2-1. What a shot.
And it looked like Aragon got caught up there in that mess, so that was almost an easy shot for Steel City there.
And let's see the. I saw who that was. I just need to get to that here on our.
Yeah, but again, like you said earlier, the numbers are almost still hard to see with the lights here, and we've witnessed that last season in the City of Champions Cups with the numbers on the jerseys. So we're trying to find that who scored that goal.
Paul Miller.
There you go, Paul
Miller, and he put Steel City up 2-1. Here about a quarter of the way through the start of the second half. Here comes Steel City again, taking the aggression right to Rockford. And Steel City right now, the last couple minutes have really played like a team possessed and a totally different team that we saw in the whole first half.
Absolutely. It's almost like they came in with the momentum and they're just carrying it right now.
Lonnie Wilkins will be up here in the booth for, I believe it's his 5th season as the voice of the Joliet Slammers. Great guy. Talk about knowledgeable. Family full of baseball players, and that was a late tumble on the field right there. After the whistle, we have a Rockford player down.
I think you'll be calling that game with Lonnie, won't you, Bill?
I will be up here most of the season. You know, I work out at the Dirt Oval at Route 66 out in Joliet. We had our opening night. We had the Tony Stewart Circuit of All-Stars and the champions coming through, and the IRA Wingless Sprints from Wisconsin open up our racing season last Saturday.
And you got some motocross coming this weekend,
we
right?
We do, and if you know anything about motorcycle flat track racing, this is pretty huge. These guys, the AFT is what they call them, American Flat Track Racers, have been down in Springfield at the fairgrounds forever, and Rockford will take this one on the throw-in from the touchline, and they will push it toward the midfield marker. But yeah, Springfield down at the State Fairgrounds have had this race forever, and it brings in thousands and thousands of people, and for some reason they weren't able to keep the race, and my track owner, Sherry Heckenest, has said that we want them, and we got them. And we've got them coming up on the 28th and 29th, and that's going to be Memorial Day weekend. That's going to be huge. And then opening night for the Slammers here at DuPage Medical Group Field on the 28th. I mean,
it's Friday.
Whew, can you believe it?
Next Friday, and we'll have fireworks.
Here comes Steel City again, and no! Just missed the far post. My, oh my, that was Miller again.
Huge break for Rockford right there, Bill. Got very lucky.
I'm sorry, that was Shannon Seymour on the attempt. He went far post and just missed. Yeah, Memorial Day, you know, the official start of summer as they call it, and you know, I just think it's great. You know, whatever sport you are passionate about, if you like racing, golf, whatever, anything, it's starting to get going again. And if you're a fan of sports, and I know like we are here at 1080 Productions and the whole production crew and everything we do here at DuPage Medical Group Field, you got to be happy. You got to be ecstatic. Rockford, here's a corner. Nice curl back into the box. Eppenbrock able to come out and get it. Gives up a rebound back to the far corner. And Steel City will just oust that toward the center line. So, big weekend coming up, you know, as you get people together and enjoy some great food, which we have yet to talk about, that I know me and Lonnie, there's a push-off.
I don't know, Bill. Me and Squints went to Mod Pizza today as our break, because we actually had a break between the prison, and now we had a few-hour break, so Squints had to take his camera to the camera shop to get something
So you're on work
fixed.
release from the prison is what you're saying?
Yes,
All right.
we were.
All right.
So we took a trip to Mod Pizza and had him drop off his camera. And
do you remember last year, Sub City, with the garlic Parmesan fries?
Yes, I do.
Oh, my gosh.
What about a quick shout out to Noah Vaughn and his family with the barbecue that we got
Locked
sent
you
here?
guys out completely from that one. We had no idea that was coming. We had the email, and all of a sudden there was a big bag of
Texas barbecue.
Lonnie looked over there and was like, "Oh, lock that door. We can't let them have it."
And I saw her bring it down. I was right over there next to you guys,
Yeah.
working the camera, and I was like, "Oh God, here
what
we go."
What a special season, and when you work with people such as yourself and Sean and Joe, and then the voice of DuPage Medical Group Field, Kurt, and you got all these guys that just come together to have fun. It's like a little family we have here, a great time, and we got the best fans out there, and we thank them
Absolutely.
for everything that they do for us, and thank you for tuning in here on the Steel City FC YouTube channel. But yeah, we'll be streaming all the games this year through the Frontier League. You can check out the link at JolietSlammers.com, and just an exciting time, as the restrictions start to be lifted and people can get back outside again and get back to some normalcy. And I'm just glad to be a part of it, and be part of this team is an incredible feeling. It makes you. It's not about the money. You do this because you love what you do and you love the people you work with, and that's
Absolutely
exactly
do.
what it's about.
You gotta love to come to work every day, and you'll never work a day in your life.
No, but a little bit of barbecue on the side doesn't hurt anything.
I totally agree, and we're actually 9 days away from opening day here
Yeah.
with the Slammers, which is crazy to think about. Where we were leaving last season, not knowing what we were gonna run into.
We didn't even know if they would even have a Frontier League after.
Right.
I mean, the financial burden and the stress put on to, every sport. They had to rearrange what they were doing. They had to make the hard calls and say, we can't do this. Major League Baseball, I forgot how many millions that they lost, and maybe even, billions. I don't know. It was astronomical amounts that sports, everything, the businesses, everything they had to change just to kind of get back into a little bit of a rhythm. And here we are, as you mentioned, 9 days away from that. We're Steel City FC in their inaugural season for the men's team. You got the women's team kicking butt and taking names. This is an exciting time here at DuPage Medical Group Field, and to be a part of it is pretty amazing.
And after the home opener, we're also gonna have fireworks.
Ooh,
So
love them fireworks.
you and Lonnie will have the perfect view in the house for them fireworks.
I wish I would have like a Roman candle back in the days. I used, boosh.
Right out the window.
I guess that's frowned upon, but
Maybe with the netting
back
there.
in the days, yes. Used to launch the bottle rockets, holding them on. We did some stupid stuff as kids. And I got all my digits, thank God. That's all I can say. Rockford again. Deppen Brock moving to his left, and I tell you, that one just missed the far post, Kylie. That was a heck of a shot from outside the penalty arc.
Absolutely. Just missed that goal post there, and if it would have went in, we would have been tied, and Rockford needs that momentum to switch again.
Got a whistle just outside the midfield stripe. Two to 1 is your score. Steel City FC looking to remain undefeated. Coming in this contest 2-0. Rockford looking for their very first win of the season. Jalen Deppenbrock, the LaSalle, Illinois native, went to LaSalle Peru High School, part of the IVFC club. Jalen, the goalkeeper for the Royal University Spartans, as I mentioned.
And Bill, you mentioned that we haven't talked about food yet, but today is National Devil's Food Cake Day.
Man, all I can say is hallelujah for Devil's Food Cake.
I don't remember the last time I've had it, or if I even have had it.
It's National Barbecue Week, too. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I'm telling you, if you find yourself a cookout someplace, just stop and say, I'm here to sample your food.
Hey, I might just have to cook some ribs up myself then.
Oh, gosh, don't say that. Speaking of that, not only did we get barbecue last year, we got, I'm trying to recall the name of the player, but his family came in from Texas also and brought in some venison jerky.
Oh, yes.
We tried a piece every half inning. I think we started like about the bottom of the first, and it was nice. And there was like a barbecue, and then there was, I forgot what it was, but
what about the day we were leaving the stadium when we got the fresh Louisiana?
What was that, like a gumbo?
Gumbo, yes.
Here comes Steel City FC. They can't connect, and here comes Rockford. Oh yeah, I mean, we, as weird of a season as it was, we were able to put 4 teams on the field and do it safely. Yeah, we had some really good food. That third piece of jerky, I think, was a relative of Satan because that thing was so hot. I know when Lonnie came back, I was like, I could not catch my breath. It was so hot. I'm like, oh, why didn't we leave that for the last inning? But
I think I remember you guys asking for some milk in that one.
It was hot. But, yeah, that gumbo down outside, and I almost got pretty selfish. I'm going back in for seconds. But McGrath taken down. Let's see, no call. He's frustrated for sure.
Yeah, but it was delicious.
Yeah,
I wonder what kind of
season.
meals we'll be finding ourselves this season coming up.
You know, in baseball, you got, what, hamburgers, hot dogs,
nachos.
Yeah, I mean, for soccer, I wish we had Jumbo Joe here. He's talk about a guy that has really transformed himself. He took control of, everything that he does as far as eating, and he's done a great job, and this guy is definitely someone to look up to because here comes Steel City FC. They've got numbers right up the middle. Here's McGrath again, right inside the box. And that looked like that may have been a foul right in the box. That would have been a penalty kick, but they're going to say, and Miller's talking to him right now. He's like, wait a second, I don't think so. But the call, you're not gonna win a call against a referee, and he's telling them get going, and he's telling the Steel City players back off and let these guys get back at it. But yeah, I mean, food selection this time of year, very, very important. Jumbo Joe doing a great job, works for a ton of teams. I work with him out at the Windy City Bulls. He works on the entertainment crew, and I've been working shot clock out there for the past 5 years and get to see, familiar faces and then come here and be a part of that team. It's pretty cool. And he works for the Chicago Fire out of Soldier Field. So
he also works for the Bears too.
He does. Yeah, the Monster Squad, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Absolutely.
He's all over the place. And speaking of monsters, last year we were talking about the bats flying around. We weren't sure what kind of birds. Remember those?
Yeah.
They're back.
Really?
Yeah, I saw one over at the far light post here. Talk about coming back. How about them cicadas? Rockford crosses it back in. Deppenbrock able to come out. Jalen Deppenbrock with a big stop.
And Bill, also I noticed the little steelmen over there on the building are gone. They're not there they're not up there anymore.
You know what? You're right. They were kind of almost like they were watching the game. I don't know what they're going to do with that building, but there was a big storm, about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, that brought down a portion of that building, and it's you look up there and you see those players. I didn't realize that till you just mentioned it. Yeah, that was kind of a fixture here at DuPage Medical Group Field to watch. I'd look over there and see those fixtures, kind of like keeping an eye on us. Here it's kind of neat.
They've had a few home run balls go their way.
Yeah, we had some shots last year. My gosh. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, the Midwest Premier League action here tonight. Steel City FC coming in undefeated at 2-0. Rockford 0-3. Corey Kluber. Who is he, with the Yankees now? Boo-hoo. I know Lonnie's right now. He's a huge Tampa Bay Rays fan. He's got a no-hitter through 7 innings against the Rangers. Boy, that's a heck of a line. That one just missed the top of the crossbar. Boy, Steel City now coming alive. They have that lead, and they're still taking shots at it. So talking about sports and talking about, and I have to bring this up, the unwritten rules in baseball. Like if you hit a player, you know it's coming. You know that sooner or later you're going to get hit. Deppenbrock with another big save. Wow!
Huge save there to keep the game, to keep his team in the lead.
Boy, he was going left and had to come right, left his feet, got enough of it to deflect it over the crossbar, but Rockford, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, capturing lightning in a bottle, and they're going to have a corner. We'll get back to the unwritten rules here shortly.
Yes, them White Sox.
Oh, yeesh. Yeah, but you have to give credit to them, and there's another crossback in the box, and Deppenbrock doesn't have to worry about this one. But, every sport has their unwritten rules that, are not in the rule book. You don't talk about, if you break this threshold that there's going to be retaliation one way or another. If you have, here comes Steel City. Here's McGrath again. McGrath crosses it, has a player wide open. Oh! Hits it over the crossbar. You can hear the fans with a big sigh. That was a wide open. It was almost like it was a chip shot. And we have a
yellow. No.
I don't know what it's going to be a substitution.
But yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of the sports have unwritten rules that no one really talks about. You kind of just learn them as you play, learn them as you watch, and
you bean my player, we're going to bean you back.
Yes, that happened to the Cubs. They beamed Wilson Contreras like 3 times, aimed at his head, aimed at his leg, and then the Cubs pitchers came out and did it.
And if you have a no-hitter in the 9th inning, and that player comes up and tries to bunt, that's another thing. You don't do that. But in baseball, you don't give up. You try to get that base runner no matter what. Yeah, it kind of stinks that you're going to be that guy. But you know what? They say that's an unwritten rule. The latest issue, which I don't know. My thing is, like if you're up, like in hockey, you're up 7-0, and the other team pulls their goalie, and you have a shot on that goal, are you sending that into the crowd? No, you're putting it between the pipes.
Absolutely.
I don't care who you are.
Sending it down the ice. Right. If it goes in, it goes in. If it doesn't go in, it doesn't go in at that point.
And the White Sox and the Twins, to me, I don't think it's an issue. They're up 15-3, and they had a position player come in and absolutely serve up a 43-mile-per-hour meatball. It's like playing slow-pitch softball. You're going to hit that one a country mile, and that's exactly what he did. Tony La Russa said that's an unwritten rule. You don't do that kind of stuff. To me, that's an in-house issue. If you have a problem with it, talk about it.
Don't bring it out.
They retaliated, I believe, the next night they threw behind a player. Instantaneously, the pitcher thrown out, plus the manager. I mean, it's let them. I say let them police themselves as long as you're not hurting somebody. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't feel good to get hit by a 95-mile-per-hour fastball, but
I'm not trying to get hit by one of them.
No, but I mean, if you do something that you think is disrespectful, there's going to be payback in sports, one way or another. Right. I mean, like in racing, Rubbin's Racing, well, to a certain extent. And we'll get back to that. Here's a free kick for Rockford. So again, they trailed 2-0. We're deep here into the second half. Steel City FC with a slim 2-1 lead. There's a cross. Deppenbrock, another big save. Had to jump up, time his jump properly. Ended up hitting that one over the crossbar. And you talk about Jalen in the first half, total frustration. Now he's clapping, telling his team, great job. I mean, it's amazing what a 1-goal or a 2-goal lead will do for a goalie.
Absolutely. He's leading his team out there right now. He's telling them, you can see right now he's getting them into position. And for this, I believe, it looks like a corner kick here.
It is. And he sent that one too far. Again, Rockford not capitalizing on it. Steel City FC, both their goals coming on corners.
The goalie's kind of like a catcher in baseball. He's communicating with all his players to get them in their position because he can see the whole field from a good angle. And just like behind home, you can see the whole field, get your defense into position for the best possibility.
Absolutely. Boy, right now, Rockford trying to stretch that offense with a long pass, and in sports they kind of call that cherry picking, trying to get a player behind your defense, but you can't do that because is offside. But I mean, Rockford right now playing a very desperate game, trying to get a player deep between the defense and Jalen Deppenbrock. And so some desperation moves set by Rockford. They're down 2-1. Speaking of that, here comes Steel City. McGrath on the far side. Cross back into the box. That one headed out of there. No harm, no foul, but Steel City keeps possession right at the midfield marker, and they're going to take some time off the clock.
Play keep away here.
Yeah, little game of keep away. There's Miller. Bugari. He's taken down, no call. Another 2 great tackles in a row. Now that one right there, that didn't draw a foul. So these referees are letting them play. That was 3 aggressive tackles back to back to back. And the pace of this game, the physicality is starting to pick up, and Rockford knows they need that equalizer.
They know the time is ticking. So they're trying to penetrate the goal as much as they can.
Steel City take a little bit of time setting up their offense. Oh, there's another move right up the middle. Oh, that was a hand. Oh, that clearly hit the hand of the defender, and no call. Wow, the side judge sitting looking right there. There's one off the crossbar. Miller again with another shot. This one cleared out of there by Way 2. Boy, right now, Steel City with their foot on the gas pedal. Another chip shot. Looking for McGrath again. Can't get it to him. Well, McGrath coming in, as we mentioned, 3 goals and 2 assists. Really special player. And that one's going to go... Oh, they're going to say that's Rockford. That looked like a really good tackle. It looked like it went off one of the Rockford players, but line judge says that it's Rockford's ball.
Steel City was not happy with that no call of a handball there. You'll see all their bench pop up. You hear some of their fans, I'm sure, on the crowd mic yell, "Where's the handball?" So I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Talk about Deppenbrock. Didn't really need to make that save, but he did. That one was going to go wide, as you mentioned. Really good crowd here tonight at DuPage Medical Group Field. Great night for soccer. Great night for sports all around. We were talking about some unwritten rules. You know, in NASCAR, the bump and run, the
teammates.
Yeah, the teammates. Okay, what's the pecking order? Okay, if you're first and your teammate's second, do you not go for the win? Do you not move them out of the way at a track like Bristol?
Yeah, speaking of that, Hendricks Motorsports just finished 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the last race.
First time since 2015, I believe.
For sure, yeah.
And you talk about Hendrick Motorsports clicking on all cylinders.
Absolutely.
Steel City looking to go up by 2.
Very talented group of racers in that Hendrick Motorsports. Young group of racers.
Sure. You got a guy that I think that can wheel anything with 2, 4, 6, 8 wheels. Kyle Larson, just an absolute beast. You got your boy.
Chase Elliott.
Father or the son of Awesome Bill from Dawsonville, Georgia. And
Alex Bowman,
my gosh. Talk about a guy that taken over for a legend such as Jimmy Johnson. Amazing what he is able to do. He's already into the chase.
Yes.
Every one of the, I believe every one of the Hendrick drivers are in the chase already. Martin Truex Jr. blowing everybody away with 3 wins. He's having one heck of a season. But yeah, I mean, every sport has its unwritten rules, and you follow them quietly. You just go about your game. If you screw up, you know something's coming.
Absolutely.
Just leave it at let them police their own. And I'm not big into the gossip when it comes to the sports. If there's something you need to correct, you do it.
Yeah, do it in-house or do it personally.
Here comes Steel City again. Rockford really playing little defense to none. They're trying to get as many players on the opposite side of the center line to try to get this equalizer as we are drawing to a close here in the second half of this contest. Kids scaling the wall here, almost like they're trying to break out of prison out there in right field. The short porch, there goes another one. Nope, couldn't make it. Here comes Steel City, and they've got numbers. This is a 4-on-3 odd man rush.
And you mentioned the game of soccer being just starting him young. As in left field, we could see those group of kids over there just passing the ball around, doing some tricks.
I mean, it's crazy how you would think after a long week of school that, Saturday you want to sleep in and watch some cartoons. Here comes Steel City again. Nice move. There's a 2-on-1. Oh, just missed the near post. Miller looking for his second goal of the contest. Wow. Make that Shannon Seymour, excuse me. Boy, they had numbers again there, Kylie, and they just could not put that one in. They've been all around the posts here tonight.
Especially in the second half, they've been penetrating that goal a lot more. The momentum is definitely in their favor, and Rockford's going to have to pull some strings to switch that momentum and try to find the back of the goal.
Yeah, they're going to have to adjust their game plan here pretty quick. Down by 1. It's not an insurmountable lead, but it is definitely when you're playing the stingy D and such as Steel City and the offense that they're bringing to the table right now. I mean, it's just been a matter of, inches as far as goals on both of these posts for Steel City in the last 10 to 15 minutes. Another substitution now for Rockford.
Couldn't agree more, Bill. I think Steel City has definitely improved in the second half so far. So far, they've won the second half. I feel like the first half was leaning a little towards Rockford just in momentum, but Steel City has definitely taken over and is winning the second half right now.
Yeah, that first 5 minutes of the second half, Steel City almost like they didn't get the memo, and then all of a sudden that defense just ratcheted down tight, and they have really come alive. And here they got numbers again. It's a 4-on-3. Right up the middle, right at the penalty arc. Oh, what a big save by Dennis Luis Aragon. Wow, that one was going top shelf. And if it wasn't for that, he is just frustrated. He's telling his defense, come on, guys, tighten it up. We're only 1 goal down, and this is going to be a corner for Steel City. As you notice, they're taking their time, chewing whatever time is left on the clock.
Letting that clock run a little bit.
Yeah, smart play. They have the scoreboard and they have the clock in their favor. Here's Lysick. Nice corner, low line drive, and that one headed out of there by Rockford. Shannon Seymour trying to get it to Lysick. Lysick comes back with it. Nice play. Lysick now with it. Still with it. Still with it. Crosses it. And Aragon coming up with a big save. That went through 2 Rockford defenders. Oh, man, that could have been another goal. And that could have been a backbreaker right there for Rockford if Steel City could put another one behind them. Already up 2-1.
Rockford tries to move down the field here by working the ball closer to each other rather than trying to spread the field. They're kind of in a bunch right now.
Right, they're baseball, we call that small ball, and they were trying to stretch the offense with long passes, but now they're going back to what got them knotted up at 1 apiece there in the first half. They're playing, smaller passes and being a little bit more aggressive in the Steel City defensive zone.
Absolutely. And sometimes I think that's a little bit better towards your game plan, just to do that small passes, because it confuses the defense, because then it gives your other guys time to spread out, and by then the Steel City defense is already bunched up and you have wide open shots and open guys.
Right. Now what looked like it was going to be a throw-in. Oh, it is going to be a throw-in. They just had to change the ball. On the touchline on the far side, just shy of the midfield marker. Here comes Rockford down 2-1. Looking for that equalizer. Again, Rockford 0-3. Steel City 2-0. Inaugural season for Steel City here. And that's going to be a foul on Steel City, and Rockford's going to get themselves a nice clear free kick. Just outside the penalty arc to the left, Jalen Deppenbrock. Actually, it's his right. It's our left. I'll get that right sooner or later. Boy, the time just ticking off. I know that they really have to get a big play here to get that equalizer, but they're losing valuable seconds on the clock.
It looks like the ref is kind of have him paused right now.
He is, and what Rockford's going to try to do is, you see that wall being set up. He's going to try to curl it, I believe, around the right side. There it is, curled in. Deppenbrock had a clean shot. There was no bodies in front of him to obstruct his vision, and Jalen Deppenbrock again with another save. Well, we'll be back here on the 26th, I believe he said?
I believe so, for the next.
Yeah, that's a big game. That is going to be a big game as second place team in the Midwest Premier League. Adria, 8 o'clock start. Jeez, oh Pete. As the older we get, I mean, my bedtime's at 9 o'clock. I mean, what the heck?
It'll be a long night for us.
It's going to be a long night. Yeah, it looks like you're going to be doing a lot of talking.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready for it.
There comes Steel City. And Lysick, he's going to cross it. Look who's there with the header and the goal! Shannon Seymour makes it 3-1, Steel City FC. And give me your best dance, minus the karaoke. Well, that play has been developing all night, Kylie. They finally connected, and that one could be the dagger tonight as Steel City now up by 2 as they lead 3-1 on a beautiful cross by Lysick to Seymour.
Absolutely. It looks like that's something that they have been practicing, trying to execute. As you see, half of their bench gets off, runs up, gives everyone's hugs. He walked down, shake the hands of the coaches, hugs the coach. I think that was something that they've been trying to execute all game and maybe even in practice.
Agreed. Boy, Steel City, that is a massive goal right there. And if you're a Rockford FC fan, that's a heartbreaker. Game's not over, but now it's a 2-goal deficit that Rockford has to come up with just to tie this game up at 3 apiece.
With very little time remaining.
Very little, you're right. So you're going to start seeing some moves. I think you're going to see the goalie's really going to come way out of the goal, and he's going to become the extra player as we see Dennis Luis Aragon, and he's going to go back into the goalie box. He's between the penalty arc and the center line, and we'll see what he's going to do. He's looking like he wants to get closer toward that midfield marker. That's going to go out of the end line, and I believe that's going to be Steel City goalie kick. Well, first soccer game, I absolutely enjoyed it, and I tell you, I really can't thank Sean King and 1080 Productions. You got Bill Jr., you got Squints, yourself up here. What a team tonight. What a great game this has been. 3-1 is our score right now as the seconds dwindle off the clock, and Steel City looking to go 3-0, and pretty impressive outing. It's definitely been a fun call tonight there, Kylie.
Yeah, Bill, this is actually my first soccer game call. I was really excited to do it. I'm blessed for the opportunity, and obviously on the schedule I will be calling a few more of these games. So
hey, good job.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Boy, what a fun contest it's been tonight. Game's not over, but as I mentioned, the clock dwindling down, and Steel City, very close game. They get the first goal. Rockford evens it up 1-1. 2 goals here in the second half has put Steel City up 3-1. Throw in on the touchline for Steel City. Rockford again, they were stretching that offense, and Steel City caught him off guard, but a beautiful pass from Lysick to Seymour made it 3-1.
Beautiful header there too.
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, that is something. Again, I don't know how they do that, but that is just great coordination to get that pass and then just turn around and head it into that goal. I mean, it's just impressive. This is an impressive game, you know. Not me, because that probably would have hit me in the head. I would have been out with a concussion. You have to bring an ambulance and a helicopter. It would have been ugly. You know, these guys make it look easy. They'd have to stretcher me out of here. I mean, that's how that's how awful I am at this game. But boy, I enjoy calling soccer, and Steel City playing some really good soccer tonight. Rockford, you know, a young team in their first season also. You know, a lot to look forward to for this Rockford FC team. Head over to their they got a Facebook page. They're all over, I believe, Instagram and on the internet, the World Wide Web, as they called it back in the days, minus the dial-up. There's Seymour, and that is that the final call? No, I thought that was it.
Card.
They called a yellow card. That's the fourth one. And this one is going to go against Steel City. I thought for sure that was the final whistle.
I would assume we're getting a little close here, Bill. It's about 9:30 here.
Gosh, it's almost Thursday already.
Yeah, this week has gone fast.
It has. Isn't that something? Jalen Deppenbrock coming out with a easy save. He's going to take a little bit of time off the clock. Let's see if he throws it or he just boots it. He's going to whip it out of there. Oh, here comes Lysick. He got behind the pass. Could not get to it. And Rockford again dodges yet another bullet. That could have been 4-1 easily. Good show of sportsmanship. We talked about that. Lysick got behind the defense. Just like that, a big substitution. Nigel Dillard. Had a chance to talk to him. Great
nice
gentleman.
guy,
Absolutely
yes.
Awesome guy. He's going to come out of the contest to a nice hand from the crowd. And I believe Lysick also is coming out, so they're going to clear the bench. And again, this is some of that stoppage time as you take a look at the referee looking at his clock. And he points to his clock. He starts tapping it, which means they are running out of time, but Steel City's just going to
work the clock here, I believe.
Dillard's back out.
Or maybe he was tapping at his watch that they can't switch and because of the time limit or something.
It must be, because he went out to a good hand from the crowd, right? A standing ovation, and now he's back in. Yeah, you're right. I'm not sure if it's because of the amount of time left in the game. You know, I think you're right. Good morning, good evening, and good night for Steel City here today as they are winning 3-1. Rockford now has to play an aggressive offense with long passes, trying to stretch out that offense. And Steel City just sitting back, waiting for the mistakes.
And then again, here comes the small ball.
Yeah.
That we talked about, just trying to chew at that clock a little bit just to secure the W.
But Gary right now, he's out of gas for Rockford. Here comes Steel City on the far touchline. They'll lose it. And Rockford now pushing up the pitch and see what they can do with it. It's the time running off the clock. And you're battling the scoreboard and the clock. I mean, desperation starts to set in. Jalen Deppenbrock trying to get to it before it goes out of the end line. Looks like he was trying to prevent the corner, which Rockford's going to get, and they know that they're running out of time. It's going to be a quick set. Here's the cross back into the box. Nice header. Rockford trying to pitch it right down the end line. And this is going to be another corner. It is, but have to run all the way from the goal all the way down to the far corner. Again, they placed the ball down. They got to get something going here pretty quick. Low line drive. That hit a couple bodies up front. That one goes off the scoreboard, which we saw during the City of Champions, a couple during the home run derby.
I believe it was David Kariakou, who is now on the Joliet Slammers, who hit the scoreboard when we had that black little square that was missing, which is fixed now.
That is going to be exciting to watch. Here's another corner for Rockford. Deppenbrock! And the D for Steel City FC. And there it is. Final whistle. Your final score tonight, 3-1. Steel City FC wins, and they go to 3-0 on the season. And Rockford FC will drop to 0-4. And Kylie, it started off one, and there's the Steel City FC flag being run out to the team. But what started off, what looked like it could have been a lopsided game at the beginning. Steel City FC gets the first goal, and then Rockford ties it up, and then we went into halftime 1-1, and Steel City controlled the whole second half. And you got it. That last goal has to be one of the goals of the game. The first two goals by Steel City FC came off of corners, but that Lysick to Shannon Seymour, that was a beautiful, and I think that's probably the goal of the game.
Absolutely, Bill. That was a great game to watch, great game to call with you. Thank you for having me with you.
Absolutely.
It's been a great experience, and I look forward to doing future games.
Well, for Bill Jr., Squints, and our producer, Sean King, 1080 Productions, and for Kylie Rogers, I'm Bill Downing. 3-1 is your final score tonight. Steel City FC goes to 3-0, and they'll be back in action here on the 26th against the second-place team at 8 o'clock. Head over to steelcityfc.com for all your latest information. From DuPage Medical Group Field, Steel City FC 3, Rockford 1. Good night, everybody, and go Steel City.